Ladies and gentlemen, let me welcome the beautiful Lily from the Gulf countries. She is a Wonder Woman and doing massive work as an international business developer in across the world. Lily, over to you. So we have an interesting topic today. This is basically conscious marketing. So we are eager to understand what is conscious marketing and how it is related to the technology and how it is going to disrupt the post-COVID world. Over to you, ma'am.
Hello, everyone, and thank you, Arjit, for having me here in front of these beautiful minded people. Yes, we are here today with a different topic, maybe much different from what you watched during this current situation. Actually, I wasn't like many other of you following many webinars. I was really busy with my planning and writing books. But sometimes I followed some of the good speakers and good mentors that they were trying to help others and trying to put some ways and to show some ways to them to get rid of this current situation. But what I'm going to tell you tonight is, I don't know what's the time difference tonight or today, it doesn't matter. But what I'm going to tell you is much different from what you heard. This topic is about conscious marketing. That's what we really need and what we need for the future market. Because I saw many faces in many webinars, mentors, entrepreneurs and startups who were talking about, am I valid?
Yeah, you are.
Okay. They were talking about the situation, okay? And they wanted to help people and they wanted to mentor any other startups and they really tried hard. But what I was getting was a worried face, even among mentors. I felt worriness a lot. So that's why maybe for each webinar, maybe 10 minutes was enough for me to feel that this is going to be in another way. This is going to be in a way that people feel better. Okay, how we feel better and how we make better decisions. That's what we need these days. We need something much different from what we did in the past in our market. Market is different these days, and even customers, even clients are different. So if you are going to copy the pattern and the previous pattern of marketing that you did in the past to get to the point that you were in the past, you won't be successful. Definitely not. I can guarantee that if you follow your previous patterns, you won't be successful. And why? I can tell you why. Because we faced a very special situation that everything changed and all we know about it. That is good. Imagine that you are in a situation that if you go through your unconscious behavior and you want to choose according to your unconscious behavior, the result will be not very similar to what you expected. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. And if you go through internet, you definitely won't find the meaning and the definition I'm giving you. And I'm dividing conscious and unconscious marketing here. It's not much similar with what you find in internet. It's totally different from what you find in internet. Imagine you're hungry and you go and open the fridge and you pick something. If you do it unconsciously, the food that you choose is not actually very healthy. I can guarantee that. You are eating something, but it is according what made you to pick. This means unconscious behavior. You felt hungry you open the fridge, you picked something. And most of the time when it's unconscious behavior, this is the unhealthiest item in the fridge. You go for drinking a Coke or chocolate or something like this, because you want to get rid of that feeling which surrounded you, that feeling of frustrating moments that are surrounding you, that is stressful and fearful feeling which surrounded you, made you to make a decision, and you're not aware of that decision at all. You don't know what you're doing. If we want to bring up an example here in the market and in the business, if you're trying to do something right at the moment to get rid of this situation, which is lack of the money, lack of the market, lack of the client, lack of the customer, and etc., you want to get rid of that, you pick a chocolate, and it's not healthy for you. That's what I mean. That's what I mean when I say be conscious, make conscious decision regarding your marketing. And the concept of conscious business these days are vital. You have to go for it. If you want to survive these days, you need to know, and you have to be aware of your conscious decisions and unconscious decisions regarding your business. If you go according to your frustration to pick a marketing method that you did in the past and the result was brilliant, you won't feel it like before. I can guarantee that. So you have to be aware of your feeling, first of all. If you're not aware of your feeling, then all the decisions will be like picking a chocolate out of the hunger. So that's what I mean, Arjit. If there's any kind of question so far, you can ask me.
Well, when you talk about picking up a chocolate from the freezer, certainly you're hungry, maybe in a time when you feel like, okay, it's late at night. Let me grab something. So whatever I'm getting, let me grab it, and then uh, I'm not thinking that it will help my physique, or shall it destroy my inside, and maybe in future I'm not
Exactly.
getting any kind of result, right? So
Exactly.
right. So
Exactly.
from your perspective, right now, if you look at the world, actually, once you have the post COVID-19 era, the market will have a two different kind of situation. A, there will be a huge number of supply gap because demand is there, production is stopped, right? So people need to go for maybe double production. They need to go for maybe day and night work because there is a supply gap that already happened, and it's been over 1.5 or 2 months for a couple of countries where they couldn't start the production properly. So once they start, what is your uh, message? What is your opinion about the same? How should they go about their consciousness to go into the market and then grab people's attention? That cannot be same like before. You cannot, if you run a hotel and you are open now, you can't just say that we are open, we have this discount, and you come and enjoy. So the marketing pattern will be completely changed,
Exactly.
right? So
Exactly.
what is
Exactly.
your what is your thought process?
When you are conscious means you are aware of your physical status, okay, as an entrepreneur, as a startup or whatever, business maker, okay? Your physical status will affect your mental status.
Sure.
If these are not parallel, you will make a decision according to the bad news, fake news, and untrue news, okay? That's what I mean. Make sure that you are mentally, physically aware of what you want to choose. If
Sure.
you are mentally sick due to the bad news, due to the hunger, okay? Because hunger is a state of mind sometimes. You are not hungry, you're thirsty. If you drink a cup of or glass of water, you will feel okay. But sometimes you grab a chocolate because you think that no, that's what I need. That's what makes me feel better. Okay, it is much more
Worse.
actual for you. Yes, and it can make you sick, or maybe you in the middle of the night when you go for a chocolate, it will make you kind of sleepless,
Yes.
and you know it's not healthy in the middle of the night you go for a chocolate, but you do it because you think that you are going to get rid of that feeling. After this corona era, you will face even worse than now. Even the unconscious decisions will be worse than now. Why? Because you are competing with others. You think that if you don't make your decisions, you are behind them.
And you lose
That
some business.
makes you feel worse.
Yep.
Exactly. That's why you feel that you have to do something. But I have a question. Are you aware of your situation? Are you aware of the state of mind of your clients? Do you know them well? Because they changed. They changed. We have a before after
Exactly.
picture of them. Have you ever reviewed the before after picture of your clients? Most of us, we can say no, because we were surrounded with negative thoughts, a statistic of deaths, and all these things the news are bringing to us. Have you ever got rid of that mental status to feel yourself? Have you ever felt yourself these days? Are you worried or fearful? If you are worried and fearful, the decision will not be a glass of water, it will be a bar of chocolate, and it's not healthy. So that's what I mean. That's what I mean. But the most important thing and the funniest part is that if you go through internet, there is nothing about conscious marketing. Conscious marketing and conscious business will be a very narrow knowledge of business these days that have can be found in internet. But unfortunately, it's a lack. That's what we need these days. We need to go deeply in business because we are the business.
Yes.
Who can be, who can feel unhappy about himself or herself and is successful in his business? No one.
So
No one.
for the
You
audience, let
cannot
me.
say that an unhappy person is successful in his or her business.
Well, success is a different definition, and we'll most probably have some other session regarding the same. But honestly
If you
speaking,
are counting it as a money receiving, what I mean is that the value added to that, that the state of you add value to your business,
true,
because the happy business or long lasting business,
always.
maybe you are making huge amount of money with your business, okay, for a short period of time, because it's not a happy business, it's not a
Lily,
conscious business.
there is a curve in every business. If you go, if you take that curve, if you're going very straightforward like this, the curve always goes down like this. You know. So
Exactly.
I usually believe in a structure where you have very structured way of making growth curve, and then maintain the balance. And maintaining balance is not a day and night job only. It requires a lot of time, a lot of strategy, a lot of teamwork, a lot of collaboration. And I feel uh, COVID-19, whatever happened, this is the right time where we should collaborate with each other, handshake with each other, and do some amazing business with multiple global communities. And that's what happening.
Exactly.
People are handshaking with each other. They are growing together, and that's the way. So I firmly believe in another concept. Let me tell the audience that, okay, let me redefine this beautiful, amazing, super lady to all of you guys, because I can see a lot of more people joined. This lady is
Welcome.
a go-getter. This lady is a go-getter. And trust me, if you ask her to do a particular work, if she is sure she can do it, she will dig the world for you, and she can bring hell lot of things for you guys. And certainly, Lily, you know what? This is the right time where we should go back to our existing client, say them a simple hi, ask them that, how are you?
Exactly. That's what
What
we
exactly
need.
you're doing?
A warm handshaking, a warm handshaking, which is maybe the concept of handshaking these days is totally different. You can handshake with your client by even sending a hi in WhatsApp and
Right.
asking how he or she feels these days and asking about her family or his family. You are totally right about it. And that's what I'm trying to tell you, that just be aware of your feeling regarding your business. Are you afraid of losing it? If you're afraid of losing it, please don't make any kind of decision regarding your marketing or expanding your business or any plan. Or first you have to get rid of this fear or stressful feeling, because then you will ruin it by making wrong choices. You have to be conscious about what you are doing. Don't panic. That's what I mean. Don't go for a TV, I don't know, advertising with big amount of money, because you feel that you have to do something. Don't do that. Just make sure how you feel about your business these days. Yes, exactly. They go for advert. I've seen many people that they felt that this is the right time for going advertising and for doing advertising. I say, why you feel that? Because they say, we have to do something, right, Lily? I say, yes, you have to do something, but you are dedicating a huge amount of money and, a big portion of your budget to this kind of marketing and advertising. Have you ever research about it? Do you know the feedbacks? And this is what I call unconscious behavior, because they want to grab the chocolate. They don't know what they're doing.
True, true. So it's open house for question and answer. So if you have any question, please write the question in the chat box, and I can always ask Lily about the same. Rahul was waving his hand, so over to you, Rahul. If you want to ask any question, I can always unmute you if you wish, if it is a long question. Shall I unmute you, Rahul?
Hello.
Yep, you're audible. If you wish, you
Hello,
can turn on your video. I already
like,
gave you the permission. Super.
hello. About this, I wanted to know that how does it work? Like, if you are doing marketing to customer, then like you said, the fridge, what you pay from the fridge, the unhealthy things. So it's about not always the unhealthy things. It's about what we choose consciously or subconsciously is related to what is giving us pleasure also. Like if you're picking up a chocolate, then it may be giving you happiness, and that happiness will actually enhance the energy of your body. And in the night also, like, okay, caffeine which is there in chocolate can lead to insomnia, but if that happiness that chocolate gives you in the middle of the night, that can take away your stress.
Mm-hmm.
So that is what is actually that can be marketed. Like eating in the middle of the
Okay.
night, the chocolate can take away your
Interesting.
stress. So how does it work? I just want to know.
Interesting question.
Okay, thank you.
Over to you.
Interesting question. Yes, exactly. Maybe because we have two different examples, which the core is different. The core is different. The core of marketing is totally different from the core of the food. But when we are trying to bring of some example, because we want you feel better. If you are comparing this with that, then you will confuse it. Okay, that was just an example. But you mentioned a very good thing, Rahul, because I want you know that if some steps, if some little steps, okay, is not a habit. If picking a chocolate is every midnight habit for you, it is definitely a very bad habit, an unhealthy habit. But if it's just once, twice, it's okay. Even if you go to your physicians or your doctor and tell, okay, doctor, I go to the fridge in the middle of the night and I grab my favorite chocolate, he will say, okay, do it. Okay, and I would say you do it. Okay, but if it's kind of habit, I can say that it is not a proper behavior. It's totally unconscious behavior, and it's very addictive. If you wanna feel better by doing something that brings you happiness right at the moment, like let's choose an advertising method for getting rid of these bad as corona these days which surrounded us. Okay, let's boost our mentality and let's feel better, let's cheer up, let's do something. It is unconscious, because when you are deciding conscious, you go through your statistic, you go through your market research, you know the truth about your client and customers.
What
You
they
know
want.
the truth. You don't rely on what my neighbors told me about this, what my cousin told me about this by phone. You don't rely on these things. This means unconscious decision according to unconscious and untrue data. What I tell you, okay, if small steps boost you once in a time, once in a period of time, okay, do it, but very small, not addictive ones, not a one that you are dedicating half of the budget of your company to a decision that make you happy and cheer you up. I don't agree with that.
Super. So we have got a couple of more questions. I'll go one by one for you. Harshvardhan,
Exactly.
he is asking, do you think brands are going to look at outdoor advertising? Do you think
Sorry,
do you think brands are going to look at the outdoor advertising?
outdoor advertising, it all depends on the situation and the condition that we are going to face. But it can happen. But what I think is that they are trying to send their messages through goods to your home. It can be an advertising of two different things on a kind of soup, and a message for you. They send their advertising to your home right in your hand, because maybe you don't put yourself in a risk to go out. And if you go out I'm talking about myself here, we go outside, but we try to do it quick and get back. I'm not actually attracted by the surroundings. I'm just very focused to do things, not to touch things, not so all your senses are accumulated to not touch the things, not talk to, be hygienic. So because your senses are concentrated somewhere else's, so I think it is my thought and it is my theory that they will send it through goods to you. So this is a kind of advertising, or they try to make you keep the can. So when the can is in your fridge in a way that you will see that it's a kind of advertising. They cannot push you to go out in the street and put yourself in a risk, but it can be a way. It will be always a way of attracting the customers
We
and
have got
clients.
next question from Shaboni. She is saying, if my stress is reduced due to the conscious marketing, if I'm having a chocolate to reduce my anxiety, not daily, can this be counted in conscious marketing? How to reduce black marketing after post COVID-19 era? Okay, that's a different question, I guess. So Amoni, your exact question is basically, can this anxious stuff, which is not daily, you're having a chocolate maybe to please your own mind, can this be counted as a conscious marketing?
If you reduce your anxiousness, if you reduce your anger, if you reduce your fear, if you reduce every kind of egoic behavior, okay, it means that you're putting a step toward the conscious marketing. So if this little bar of chocolate helps you to reduce your fear and stress and whatever you feel, you are putting a step toward it. But always be aware of your feeling and your senses, because it's very distractive. It is very distractive. I'm giving you an example. Never ever make a decision. We heard it a lot of time, that never make a decision when you are angry, when your anger attacked you and you're angry of someone, your boss, your, I don't know, your colleague, your mother, father, whoever. Never make a decision. Why they recommend this to you? Because definitely you are in your unconscious state, and you go deep and bring up something to give him or her, okay? You don't, and after this, when you review your behavior, you regret that. This is in your business too. If you're surrounded with your fear, with your anger, with your stress, you go to find a way to give it to that situation, and it is unconsciously, and you're not aware of that. But when you review this, you say, oh, putting the advertisement in that newspaper was a really wrong decision. We all have this. When we review our business, our failures in our business, you will see that all of them were in unconscious state of mind. So please make a list of your bad decisions in your business. What you did, what are the failures, okay? And
So
then
I'm
you will
taking
understand that all of them were in unconscious state of mind.
So I'm taking one more question, which is from Titas Bishwas. Titas is asking, we all know advertising is very important part of the business and marketing, and it is also important for grabbing attention of mass. How a business grow up without advertising, and what is the right time for a business person to work on the advertisement?
You cannot say that any kind of business can go without an advertising. You have to show who you are, okay? What you do, who you are, what you produce, where you put it in the shelf, where can me as a client or customer can find it. You cannot produce something and hide it on your, basement and say that I'm an entrepreneur and I have a service. Please try to find me. This is your message, that please try to find me.
True.
When you are not anywhere, you're not anywhere, you're not in any kind of media, you don't have a message, you don't have a slogan to attract the attention, when you don't have any strategy to show yourself, means come and find me.
True.
Nobody will come and find you. This is all about you. You have to be just careful if you're a growing business and you're in the middle of the or in the beginning of the process of growing. Make sure that you don't go for exciting decisions like, let's do this big, like Mercedes, because Mercedes did that, the Mercedes company did that, let me do that. And then you are making an unconscious decision because you went for a high level of excitement.
Exactly.
But show yourself, send your
Exactly. So
message.
this is what actually happens to a lot of startups. They usually go for we call them copy entrepreneurs. I mean that's not going to help you guys. I mean, you need to be unique, understand the process. Well, I can see Ahmed from Egypt. and he has been smiling at us for quite a long time.
Hello,
Hello.
Ahmed. Welcome back.
Hey, how are you?
Hey,
It's,
how are you?
really like great session. It's really like great session. I muted. I hold my work and just focus with you. It was a very great
Thank
session.
you very much, Ahmed. Great to see you again.
Great to see you.
I'm here. You can ask your question.
Really, you make everything clear. I don't have any question. I'm just focus what I'm saying.
Great, great. I'm happy to see you. If you enjoyed the session, this brings me really good feeling. Thank you very much.
Super. So we are going to take the last question for this evening. Uh, how it affects the conscious marketing. Mandira, do you have a previous question which I missed in the chat box, because this line doesn't mean anything honestly. You want to turn on your video and your mic? You want to ask her direct? Shall I unmute you, Mandira? It's there. You can unmute yourself, Mandira. Is your connection working? Okay, so I've got another question. Let me shift to another question. Really sorry, Mandira. Maybe your line is bit of uh, you're back. Anyway, let me ask the question, Lily. How to reduce the black marketing after COVID-19 era? How to reduce the black marketing post?
What do you mean, friend, black marketing? Can you define it? Because the definition I heard is totally different from person to person. Can you define
Black
it?
marketing, most probably
Black marketing.
she is meaning the increasing the price unnecessarily, and yeah, and
Because they postponed the selling for a period of time. They didn't have any selling
kind of
process, so they
kind
want to
of.
sell it. Okay. How can you repeat the question again, please?
So how to reduce that post COVID-19?
How to avoid it, actually,
How to
right?
avoid? Yeah.
How to avoid black marketing? You know, the feeling you give to if you want to avoid it, it is something that you cannot do anything about it. But what you can do, and what's the responsibility of each of us during this period, is really undeniable. There is a karmic process in this cycle. What I can say that take your role and responsibility in a way that you feel you have to do. What I mean is that, for example, you don't want to face something like this. It is not in your hand because you are just a single individual business, okay? But what you can do and what you feel responsible regarding this is that you have to feel the heart of the business. You have to feel the heart of the business. It should be a heart-to-heart business. When you do heart-to-heart business, this cycle will be a very positive cycle, and you never face to such a thing. If you feel empathy and sympathy regarding this toward other businesses which are linked to your business, for example, B2B, B2C, and etc., which are related to your business, you will never face it. That's what I feel, because you cannot avoid it. You cannot avoid it. You cannot say that let's avoid this. They are doing this, I shouldn't do that. You have to put faith in your business like before. Why? I'm telling you. Because if you want to double your price or triple your price in a very unlogical way, when I say sometimes it means that it has to be done, okay? But in a very unlogical way, you will bring guilt to your conscious level.
True.
When the guilt come to your conscious level, then you are not conscious anymore. You go down to your unconscious. So when you go down to your unconscious, then you're surrounded with guilt, stress, because guilt always brings us worriness and stress to you. You do your positive, good job in your business. When I say job, I don't mean daily job. You do your routine in a positive way. Don't copy behaviors. That's what I meant from the beginning of this session, that copying behavior puts you in an unconscious way of thinking. If people are stressful in a community and you copy that behavior, you are like them.
True.
All we want as mentors is to make you feel different. If you want to go through that cycle of black market, whatever, you are like them, then how can you avoid them? Be different, you will never face them. Your loop will be totally different. You will face beautiful hearted businessmen and women that will suggest you the best ever price that you've never faced and you couldn't even imagine. Just do your good things. That's all.
Super, super answer. Thank you, Lily, for answering all the questions, and thank you, audience, for the beautiful, cool questions that you have asked. Thank you, Ahmed. Thank you, Rahul. Thank you, the participants I can see from Europe, the mid part of Europe as well. Thank you, all the Indians, and thanks to the guys who are actually from my town. We have faced, very disturbance. It was a bad storm. Despite of that, you guys have responded. Really happy and really thankful to Lily to come forward and asking and giving all the answers. Thank you so much. We'll see and we'll look forward to meet you here in India with warm welcome. Big